our first posting after the test ride. After 110 miles, it ran really good. It was a funny thing. I think I said it. I said there's a wobble in the front end. A front end problem is actually about the back end. And then I'm looking at it on my phone, and I realize how out of alignment the rear fender is. It's kicked over this way from the middle of the top mount to the middle of the bottom mount. I think it was 13.5 inches. They are the same. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this ride height adjustment on this shock and see if that makes a difference, because I don't really know. Original Honda tool here. Let's see. Saw this cool video where somebody puts a wrench in there and then they pry it up and hold it in place, but I don't really know. Let me just try to move it, see if it just moves. Oh yeah, it moves easy enough. All right, well, think about that for a minute. The other thing I noticed was there's I was rocking it off the center stand, and there's a clicking in the front end here. Let's see if you can hear it here. I gave the front end a bit of a look over. Nothing jumping out at me there. Trouble on the front end usually means trouble on the back end. All right, so I got a plan. I am going to loosen up everything. These top bolts that hold on the fender, the top and the bottom shock mounts, these through fasteners that hold on the grab rail, and that goes right into the frame here. And then I'm going to, everything is loose, basically the whole back end is loose. I'm going to adjust this chain a little bit. I'm going to pull the wheel back a little bit and adjust the chain. And then I'm going to tighten everything back up, kind of like you would tighten something on a rotation, you know, a little bit at a time. And I think we can actually sit back and watch it align itself, because it'll find itself. It's out of position because it was torqued weird, and you know, this side really tight and that loose. It was hard to get on. And now it needs to sort of be loosened up, let it settle into its sort of natural position, and then tighten everything up slowly on a rotation. You know, like when you cross thread, not cross thread. No more cross threading, I think. It's like the first kind of warm day. Got those birds. Like, you're going to do that all year? Jesus. Swing arm wasn't touched, so I think my problem is all right here. Okay. There's a more comprehensive video on drivetrain adjustment. I think it's part 31 in this series about 3 months ago, called Making the Cb750 Roadworthy. Anyway, look for that. It's about 3 months ago, if you need a refresher on that. And I think you're actually supposed to do it this way before you torque down the rear shocks. I'm going to do something else before I tighten everything back up. And that is, I'm going to sit on it and bounce on it a little bit. See if this will come to its more natural, kind of neutral position. Just an intuition-based thing that I'm going to do. And now I'll tighten up those top bolts that hold the fender to the frame. I'll tighten up the upper and lower shock mount bolts and the grab rail bolts that go through the grab rail and into the rear frame section. And we're wrenching. The torque spec here is nice and snug. All right, that's everything I touched. Top and bottom shock mounts, both tight. Handrail, tight. Both top fender bolts are tight, and the lock nuts and the chain tensioner is correct. And when I stand behind it, it looks pretty much the same. Here's the before and after. Yep, it's the same, all right. So here's what I do. I'm not draining it yet. I'm just going to give it a little tap here just to loosen it up. Even if it drains a little, it's okay. There. Tape Ziploc bags to the forks to catch the fluid, because you got to get on it and rock it back and forth. Undo the drain the rest of the way, and then I'll get it off the center stand. Come on, you son of a... Thank you. There we go. Is green bad? Remove these bags of green slime, put them into the hazardous waste containers. In fact, it's springtime. The spring collection will be coming up before too long. Eesh. Well, I need 500 cc's of ATF, 225 a piece, and I have exactly 500 cc's left. But I was hoping I had a little more so I could give this a little bit of a flush and maybe get out of maybe a little bit more of the green sludge. But I do have this, and I'm never going to use it, 20-weight fork oil. This is for like Harleys, those big, huge forks. This uses 10W30 motor oil or ATF, and ATF is equivalent to about 7.5 weight. So this is 20 weight, heavy, 7.5, really light. Now this could be entertaining here. This fork cap, I think, if I just undo it in situ, the front wheel's on the ground, not heavy, I could spin that wheel through. But it is on the ground. I don't think the spring pops out of here. if it were on that Rickman over there and you undid that 36 millimeter fork cap, it shoots through your neck and come out the back of your head. Yes. All right, so now we see if it takes your head off. I don't think so. Just the same pair of gloves wouldn't hurt. Oh, look at that, more's pouring out. Oh, that's good. All right. I'm going to pour a little of this through. Trying to figure out how to split this 500 cc's of automatic transmission fluid right down the middle without accessing my wife's Corning measuring cup, glass measuring cup. I don't. Here we go. Whoa! Wow. I didn't see that coming. I think this motorcycle's been on this jack before. Of course, there is an exhaust clearance issue. No big deal. Except this bike is so low. Oh, good, it just sneaked under there. Just clears the fender. Excellent. Watch the springs go away. Okay. That ought to do it. Okay, we're back in business. There's still some ugly stuff that dripped out of there, a couple of black drops. So I have some 5-weight. I'll just pour it through to flush it out a little bit. I know I just put this plug back in, but I'm going to pour some of that 5-weight through this side as well. There's clear. Got a bunch of the black worn out stuff pooled. I have the perfectly parsed out amounts of automatic transmission fluid. Can't spill any, or if you do, kind of have to drain it all and start over. So if you don't want to do it twice, you gotta get it right the first time. All right, there's that. These forks were made by Forking by Frank. When I did the original restoration some years ago, there were no more original parts to be found, and well, I hope they're still in business. They're great. And here's the rest of it. It's fine. Throw a towel over the top in case I drop this big old crescent wrench on it. The brake disc needs to be cleaned with a brake cleaner before it spins through. A little bit of fork oil got on it. Have to remember this on our test ride. And the fork caps are on. And the back end, my goodness, it might actually be a little better. Is it? Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to take it for a ride tomorrow because it's going to be in the 60s. Still got that front end noise. There we go. It helps if you grunt a little bit. I wonder if it's going to be better. 60s and sunny tomorrow. That's perfect riding weather. Love the early spring. You can see through the trees. Great. All of that work last night on the suspension, it worked. I could take my hands off the bars. It rides really nice. I'm so pleased with that. Because I didn't really have a plan B. That needed to work or what? Or nothing. That's why. Just gonna live with it. That's what I was gonna do. Hey, it's Chris from The Seasoned Rider. Thank you so much for following along and subscribing. When you're riding over a cheese grater, it's a great time for your suspension not to be squirrely. I got some nice footage of sporting it up a little bit on the K2. I'll post it probably later next week. Thanks again. See you on the road.